from the first century information.
Yes.
Just can't be done.
Yeah, it can be done.
Because anthropologists have looked at his thoughts over time. It just does.
Yeah, so the science of career takes that into account.
Takes that into account. Okay.
So people that don't have good memory, they're not taken as narrators. You know?
So here I've got something. I have to photocopy because it's too big. For the camera of Islamic Studies, and it's this is the 1986 edition, and I've got. I just want to read it about these men. That allegedly criticism was made of transmitters for various other reasons, because they've given some were accused of carelessness in transmission, others of being inaccurate to transmit traditions when they'd lost their books and were depending on a faulty memory. Al-Hakim some of tracing back to the Prophet traditions, but then he goes on. Were compiled to know. It was important to know the year said to have quoted. Statements were also recorded regarding the contradictory. Although its books were mainly compiled from the 3rd century, this is again the Encyclopedia of Islam, that while the books began to appear comparatively late, there's no support for that. None at all. And it says one may not unreasonably assume, but they're just assuming that. There's no documentary support to say there were early material. Transmission in the Isnads. It says books were also written, confined part after that. The criticism of tradition clear away what was false. No, Goldziher is not based on such firm ground as the conventional doctrine. One readily notices phrases from the Old and New Testaments put into them. Word. There's great deep descriptions of heaven and hell. The Western actually trace back to the prophets. While one does not, and this is again the apologia justified in explaining away the whole body of tradition on these lines, and this makes it very difficult to find a satisfactory criterion by which one Encyclopedia of Islam is saying this is a problem, and there's not an historical validity here. Actually, in here, the Encyclopedia of Islam is saying we can't know.
No, I'm telling you what, because that's
He says so and so said. To so and so who lived and was born at some time and was living, and this person was reliable and trustworthy, as you get from the biographies that were attributed to them. But all those biographies are years after those men about whom the biographies were written had died. You can't get valid biographical information 200 years later, worthless as historical documents.
Oh, that's the mistake. In total, it's not accurate. So it's true. No, they're complete lies. They're lies. And there's people that use this hadith because they don't use, and they tell you, oh, there is this hadith that says this. You're like, subhanAllah, this is completely fabrication.
I'm sorry, at 600,000, he whittled down to 7,000. So I know what you're talking about. This is addressing the alleged hadith, the alleged. Don't care about the ones Muslims are dismissed.